Hello once again, Internet. It's me, Carmen, coming right back at you on this beautiful Thursday morning. It's very nice out. I have a few things I want to talk about, and I don't feel like I've been as open as I should be. And as much as I didn't want to talk about this and I wanted to avoid it, I think it's good for me to share this, not because of even it happening to me, or that I need to get it off my chest, because that's not why I want to share this. But I just want to share this experience that happened to me so you guys can maybe learn from it, and so maybe I can learn from it by sharing it, and we can just have like sort of a cooperative thing here and learn from each other and open this up for discussion. So I've been really stressed out lately. I've had a lot on my mind, and I really don't want to go into everything that's been on my mind because I don't feel like that matters right now in the context of this, and I will maybe at a later point because it's nothing really too bad, but it's just a lot of things that have piled up and other mistakes I have made, but they're not things I really should have been as worried about as I have been. But today, I went out driving the other day, and I came back. I just had a lot on my mind, and I pulled in the driveway. And basically, I couldn't let myself get out of the car. I was in the car by myself. I was driving, and I came back, and I just could not get out of the car. I could not move. And I just did not feel like I could go anywhere, or do anything, or say anything. I just felt so like the energy was sucked out of me. I felt all this anxiety all at once. And basically, my aunt was sitting on the front steps, and she was looking at something. I can't remember what. And she had texted me something like, I can't remember, and I had responded to it. And I didn't even have the energy to go up there and try to talk to her because I just felt like a dead weight on the seat. Like, I was able to somehow drive myself back, and I probably could have stopped, but I didn't feel like that bad until I just got back and it all hit me. And I did feel like something was coming on before, but I didn't quite realize what it was until I actually sat down and really processed it. Like, it all hit me all of a sudden, right when I pulled in the driveway, turned off the car, and I just, like, I couldn't get out of the seat. I couldn't bring myself to open the door and get out of the car. And I had texted her, and I said I really needed to talk to her. I just couldn't bring myself up to do it. And it was really tough for me because when she came over and, like, actually got my message and came over to the car, I couldn't stop myself. I started talking about things that were on my mind, all of the built-up things inside, and I sort of just collapsed right there. And I started crying, and it happens. And I think I had a panic attack, and that's why I couldn't bring myself to make a video yesterday. And that might seem silly to a lot of people, but quite honestly, I didn't feel like I could do my best. And if I tried to force it, I would only be hurting myself. And that's not good for anybody. But I feel like talking about this now, and like I need to talk about it, not because of me, but because of everyone and opening up the discussion. And I've realized this, I've thought about it, and I don't know what else to say about it. I just feel like I try to shield myself. I try to, like, put out the best image of myself that I can into the world, and sometimes I end up suppressing myself, not realizing it, and I need to stop doing that. But I think it's something that needs to be talked about, not because of me, not because of what I need to do to improve myself, but because it needs to be talked about. And that's the most important thing here. I think we should all take away from this as people, and not just me. Like, this things like this happening in general, it doesn't make you weak to occasionally collapse or have something happen where you just can't do it. But what the driving factor is accepting yourself and trying to find ways to cope with it. And that's not easy, but it can be done. And I think we all need to start by talking about things and getting everything into the air. And I can understand people don't feel comfortable with that. You don't even have to say everything, but I think it's important that we talk about these things and these experiences. But I haven't really been living by that myself, and that's what I'm going to try to do more in general. I normally don't like to make very serious videos like this where I'm just talking about my own emotions and feelings. I usually talk about those sort of things with friends and family or whoever, but I think it needs to be talked about in a more public front, because that's not how we should live our lives, just shielding ourselves from the world. We need to talk about these things, or else we're never going to fix them. As a society, we're never going to face the dilemmas troubling us if we just sit there and let everything stew at the bottom of the pit until it just all like infernos and goes up in flames and everything's going to crud, and we can't let it get like that. And people can call me whatever they want, and I don't really care, because quite honestly, I'm comfortable enough with myself to know this happens, if nothing else. Even though I still have some questions about myself always, I know one thing, and I hope I can always remember this, that we all make mistakes. And sometimes I forget this, and I sort of forgot this yesterday, but I know it, and I've thought about it, and I know it now, and I've known it before, and sometimes it slips by us. We all make mistakes, and we all do things that may be wrong sometimes. I'm not saying having a panic attack is wrong. I'm not trying to imply that at all. I'm just saying, like, we all mess up. But sometimes we just have to dust ourselves off and move on. And we have to remember that no one's perfect, and we all have feelings and emotions, and that sometimes we are all a little bit too dramatic, but at the same time, sometimes it's okay. Actually, a lot of the time it's okay. Quite honestly, almost all the time, it's okay. There are some situations where sometimes we are just trying to find attention, but that's not what I was trying to do there, and I don't think that's what most people are trying to do most of the time. Most of the time, these things happen because of events that have happened in our lives, or different things that trigger these other events, and we have to be able to face these things and talk about them. And if we don't do that, how can we say that we are facing our problems? Because by not talking about these things, we're not facing our problems. We're not facing our problems by suppressing our stress and anxiety like it's not there, or trying to ignore it even though it's burning at us. That's not going to fix the problem. Fixing the problem isn't easy, but it starts with admitting that there is a problem in this world and talking about it. And it's good that more people are talking about it, but I still feel like not enough people are talking about it, and that I've added to the problem some myself by not sharing with you guys about this. And I feel bad about that, but you know, you can't feel too bad about that. We all do it. No one's obligated to share anything. I'm not saying that. I feel like that's a part that I could play with my experience and how much I enjoy making video, sharing these experiences with you guys. And it's something that's very near and dear to me. It's something I think about a lot. And it's not just about me, but I like to take on a lot of problems. And sometimes we have to sit back and fix our own problems before we try to repair other people's problems. But we still have to talk about these problems, and even that can help more than we know. And I think that's what I've lost sight of. But I hope that I can start to find sight of it again. And I hope that this was helpful, and that you feel, I don't know, that you feel something after watching this video. Not about me, but just in general, that makes you think. And that's what I always hope for. It's what I always aim for. And I really hope that I can continue to do that, because I enjoy making videos. I enjoy doing this. And I think I'm very fortunate. But at the same time, there are a lot of things, just like in anyone else's lives, that aren't perfect in my life, that stress me out, that make me anxious. and sometimes it just all comes out. And that's why I couldn't make a video yesterday. But that's why I really need to talk about this, because these things are stressing me out. These things. I'm referencing something vague, and I really don't want to talk about what stressed me out, because I don't think that matters. I've gotten that off of my system. Probably not completely, but I've gotten that off of my system for other people around me. I don't think it's the inherent, necessarily whatever thing it was, silliness that stressed me out. I think it matters how we all react to stress and anxiety as society and as people, and that every little bit can make a difference. And I forget this sometimes. I forget this because we have to be able to appreciate every little bit in this world that we are given, because there's not an infinite supply of anything, at least that we know of. Who knows what could be out there? But in this world, in this earth, there's not an infinite supply of anything, and we have to appreciate everything we have, because it may not necessarily be there forever, but if we don't appreciate it while it's there, we aren't getting nearly as much value out of it as we could be. Thanks for watching. I don't want to do the regular spiel in this video just because I think it's a very serious topic. And I just want to leave on. I don't want to make it out to be like something like horrible. It's not. I just don't feel like I'd be doing justice by saying what I usually say. I just want to leave it on a note. You guys, I just want you to think about this. I don't want anything out of this video. I don't care if you like it or dislike it. I just want you guys to think. If you want to subscribe, you can, or not. It doesn't really matter. It might matter at another time, but it doesn't matter right this second. I just hope all of you are doing alright. I'm doing alright, because I'm not probably in the best place ever right now, but I'm not in the worst place. I still feel happy. I still enjoy doing this. I still enjoy everything that I do. And I wouldn't take back a second of making videos online or anything. That's not even what I was stressed out about, quite honestly, at all. It may have had something to do with it remotely, but that really wasn't even it. I wasn't even like mad about that, because I enjoy doing this. It was other things going on in my life that are out of my control for the most part. Some things that are in my control, and some things just to do with myself and how I feel about everything right now, that are things that can be fixed, that are only temporary, but are still really stressful at this moment, in this year, at this month, at this day. But I'll deal with those issues. But I just want you guys to think about what I said in my experience in terms of allowing ourselves to be open and allowing ourselves to be able to deal with the problems at hand and talk to people, because we don't do that enough. No one does it enough. And we can really all learn to be more open, at the very least, about things that are going on, so we all know that it really is okay. But that's all I have to say, and I'm going to let go here. If you guys want to talk about this more in the comments, I'm always reading the comments. If you want to share your experiences or anything, I'm always reading. If you need someone to talk to, I don't know if I'm the perfect person, but if you have something you want to leave in the comments or message or say anything, you can say it to me or anyone else. There's lots of people out there who are good people to talk to in this world. It might be hard to seek them out at times, but they seem to make themselves obvious when the moment is right, even in weird ways, may not even realizing it. I don't know what I'm saying, but I hope everything was of help, and thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.